Be back at the regular bar.
Yeah.
Probably the only one that you have this week.
This week. So milk it.
Milk it, enjoy it. Stay with us. It's gonna be interesting. We're talking 1 hour of music, sports, entertainment, politics, and everything in between. My name is Shola Rogers.
And my name is Olate Lupa. You know, the one and only. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Goodbye.
Over and out.
Over and out. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody listening and watching us right here on New Bomba on Boom Radio NG. It is like Esther had said, it's everything just in a very relaxed mood.
Since I said it, why are you saying it again?
Because I want to say it. Is it you're saying?
Then your intro will now be 15 minutes.
Is it you're saying?
People
you are already eating into my intro.
She's from that school of thought where
that
you know that place where they re-echo what the alpha said alpha. Ole tell alpha.
I'm not even going to say anything. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar this afternoon as whatever happens here. Welcome. Whatever happens here, just take it like that. You know some people. I'm sure you people know by now.
Another one welcome.
We will just let it slide. For the sake of God, we will let something slide. As we are children of God, we are not taught like that. So let's move on.
No, stay where you are.
First things first, birthday shout out to it's Olamide's birthday today. You know, I woke up this morning and Olamide was trending number 1 on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, what's happened again? What have you people done again this time? Only for me to open, I'm like, okay, all right, because these days, like, you never know. I'm like, is it too early in the morning for Olamide to be trending? What did he do between last night and this morning that I didn't know? So shout out to Olamide, one of the best that has ever come out of Nigeria recently. I'm sure a lot of people, especially recently, are very grateful for someone like an Olamide. He's skyrocketed some people's careers just by being on a feature. E.g.
Zazu.
Oh God, some people are not just musicians anymore. They're now just like influencers and verse. All sorts of things.
One verse,
you know.
And if you that's the street slangs, one quick video, shoot, boom.
And that's the effect of an Olamide.
That's how big Olamide
is. The other guy, the Ashake guy too, his song is really, really blowing up. He's even in YBNL.
Yeah, Ashake he has an EP now, and the current single that they are pushing is called Sungba, and there's gonna be the king of leaks, Olamide himself. Happy birthday to you! There's gonna be a Burna Boy remix. You know, the guy that shot the Sungba video is like, okay, what is this? How can I top the video that I just shot? Because he just shot that video, and now they're dropping a remix. You know. So it's interesting how Olamide has done so much for the industry, been helpful to a couple of careers, people who were lucky to come in contact with him, and they have like a massive career now. Talking people like Dekunle Gold, and you could also talk about Lil Cash. You know, he's done a whole lot for them boys, and look at the one and only Fireboy. You know, look at how big Fireboy is now.
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple of others.
A couple of other people.
And he's always featured on people's songs. Like
I don't
he's
know.
Always available
I know
feature
that.
And all of that.
You
so happy birthday, Olamide.
Mentioned a lot of people say, okay, no, I shouldn't say this. Moving on. I don't want to sound wicked.
Which is what you are anyway. So
what did I even do?
Sound like you are. Why are you ashamed of yourself?
I didn't even see anything. Also, talking about music, there's been a bit of row between Davido and a few people on Twitter, and I think it came off the heels of somebody insinuating that, or alleging that Davido's only son, I think, is fathered by Peruzzi. And I also read that I know that Peruzzi had come out to talk about it, and I think there's some threats flying here and there.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the Whiskey FC. These are supporters of Whiskey, obviously, and of course there's the Tati BG. There's a massive supporters of Davido, and when they had this major squabble that carried on for so many years, these guys were always coming at each other. But the funny thing is, the people that they support have not really gotten involved per se. I use that loosely because one or two of them I have. But the thing is, yesterday, people started responding to something that a 30BG person started, actually. You know? There were about 3 different trolls who are confirmed 30BG followers who were trolling Wizkid and his kids. One even went as far as saying something like, Wizkid has missed 10 birthdays, he's probably going to miss the 11th one of a particular child. Then the other one said that Wizkid's kids are suffering and another person's kids are living in royalty and all of that.
Why?
No, they went and did all of that, yeah? Funny thing is, someone was saying that you don't know if Wizkid saw the tweet or not because he's ignored them. He never responds. That's one thing about that guy.
Yeah.
You notice he never responds. Yeah? At least not in recent times. But yesterday, Davido got mad when someone made that insinuation about his child and everything. And rather than back down, you see, most of those guys, also, or trolls, actually kept on telling him that, oh, you do this a lot to people. So why are you playing the victim? You still cost someone who is probably old enough to be your dad too, someone way older than you, and you took the person's picture and you called him out and everything. And it's gotten to a point where people who are claiming to be cultists are also responding now and telling him to rein it in, that they don't care whatever he thinks he is, and that he should pick a time and place for them to squabble. And he actually said time and place. He responded. And I said, okay, didn't you say you were working on your album in Qatar or something? How come you got time for all these trolls? For me, I don't like telling people how to respond to their lives and everything, or how to undo things. But at times, it would be nice to give advice, even if you think it's unsolicited. But at times, it helps. I think it's time that Davido stops engaging these people.
Exactly.
It's actually time.
Just come
to unlook.
There's so much nonsense on social media.
Not everybody's going to agree with you.
To be honest with you, I won't even say that. For a very long time, I was more of a Davido fan than a Whiskey fan. I don't know why. I just gravitated more towards Davido, yeah, for a very long time. But I've come to respect the person of Wizkid, because it seems like when you get older, and as you grow older, there's some things that you should learn. There's some things you should unlearn. There's some things that you should unlook. More like, when it comes to Wizkid's matter, literally unlooks everything. Which, the truth is, if you look at Wizkid's style of things, yeah, I'm sure there's no how in the world he will say that he's totally insulated from these things.
No.
He sees these things.
They see these things.
But after a few days, these things just die a natural death. When these things does not happen.
Yeah.
One other person that you hardly see have discussions like this is Olamide. To be honest, I think two people that really do engage people a lot, I think, is Davido and Burna Boy.
Hey, but you know, recently there was a guy that was saying something about wanting a car for Uber or Bolt or something, and Olamide dissed him, and people got mad. But apparently there was some kind of history or some issue with the guy and all of that. So yes, once in a while.
No.
Once in a while you get, which is normal too. Even Wizkid once in a while is that a reason to respond to people.
Do you understand? But
you've seen a few celebs, in quotes, who have actually taken the time out to respond to people once in a while. But I think Davido's one is like, he goes into the trenches like
looking for
ready to battle.
And I'm like, the truth is, I don't know. I don't think at the level where he is now, I don't think Davido is looking for clout.
No.
Or he's looking for...
No.
Like, okay, uncle, you can like to just rein it in. Like, calm down. Just calm down. They are, what's it called? They are talking to you anyhow. They are insulting your child. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how. Because I've never been dragged on social media. These things that they say.
So that's it, you know, I do. Don't worry.
No. What I mean is that a lot of these things that, okay, they say somebody else fathered your child. All right.
Yeah,
do you understand? That's where I'm coming from. Like, okay, thank you for the information. That's where I'm coming from. Like, there's some things that are completely unnecessary. There's some things that there's no need to reply, and then you literally drag yourself down into the trenches with all these people.
I'm even saying that we've seen people respond once in a while, but it's now becoming norm for him, and you shouldn't even bother at times. Look, for instance, you know this child is yours. Why they bother?
So why they
even distress?
Now you get my point. Like, why is now there a conversation about it?
Let them say anything.
You want to say, oh, okay. Yeah. You want to carry him from my house? Do you understand?
Look, I remember before people finally accepted to put Don Jazzy in his own platform, and people say this is on a Don Jazzy is now like on a pedestal. You know why? They cursed him out. They called him out. They body shamed him. And
he just does not.
You know, he responds. Oh, I see your nose like, thank you.
Do you understand? Like, that's another person that you never really.
Some of the people that cost him out, when he starts his
still
giveaways,
go back and
they'll still go and beg
money.
He will give them. Somebody even brought out a screen grab one day and said, "Didn't you abuse this man?"
Do you know? You know, it's very funny.
And he's like,
as much as I know that it's really not good to troll people and all. I remember watching a movie like a few weeks ago where police were trying to get across to someone had been kidnapped, and they literally had to go and arrest someone that had been trolling this person on social media. And then they arrested the person, and the person was like, hey, it's normal now that everybody trolls everybody.
Yeah.
And then it kind of brought me into a little bit of insight into what this idea is like. It's almost like, I don't subscribe to it. I don't like it. I don't think it makes any sense. Like, I don't know why in the world I grew up with the fact that if you cannot say something nice, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. And you see people say all sorts of unspeakable, horrible things about other people. I think it's completely wrong. But some people just feel that it's no big deal.
When I see these things, because I actually take time to research them, go and check these people. Some of them, they don't use their real handles. They are burner accounts. They are funny handles. They don't use their images. You get. But the biggest thing is clout.
Yeah.
A lot of people are chasing clout regardless of what comes out of it. Remember the two girls who lied about Davido and blah, blah, blah. They now started begging and saying they were lying.
Mm-hmm. It even happened to small Portable here.
Portable of yesterday.
Of a few weeks ago.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, but
And at times, a lot of these people, I think they have low self-esteem.
Oh yes, I agree with those things. That is why I feel that.
So don't join them.
I honestly feel that anybody that trolls, you're really, like you said, there is a lot of issues that you're battling with. That's my own personal opinion. So if you feel that the next thing is to troll you that they are trolling, you're automatically bigger than that person. There's no point. Like, there really is no point at the end of the day. Somebody needs to take Davido's phone away from him.
Honestly, the way they always take Bonner's phone, like even he will acknowledge, I'm dropping this for management or something. You get?
Yes.
You know, because a lot of times when you do it, even if you were right, at times you end up
like you
end up
drag it
regretting,
so
like, okay,
long, and then exactly.
Why
like,
did I even
it
bother?
makes no sense, really. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And talking about music, Essence is in the news again as Wizkid and Thames becomes the very, very first Nigerians to win a NAACP Image Award.
Yeah.
And for them winning, they actually won 2. They won an outstanding international song for Essence, Wizkid, for Essence. That's the one with Justin Bieber. And the outstanding music video was the one with just Wizkid and Thames. But I have a what's it called too?
Okay.
What's it called though? These awards, why a lot of people do not know about it, or people are not talking about it that much, is because they're part of their non-televised awards. And I'm like, we're still on this thing.
Yeah, well, different strokes for different folks. Whatever the organizers of the awards want to do with their awards, good luck to them. You get this feat by Wizkid featuring Thames. This level that they've attained is now becoming very scary.
It's amazing. You know what I just hope for Wizkid, because it is Wizkid's song. And there was something I was going to talk about. I don't know if you saw issue with Wizkid and Buju like last week. There was some Buju ranting again. But anyway.
Okay. And so what's that about?
I won't call it a fear. I'm coming. I just don't want to lose that train of thought. I don't want to call it a fear, but I hope that Wizkid gets another song, another album that can be bigger than this.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, there are a few songs that he's released after that. Another song that I thought was really going to be like really big was his second song that he had with Burna Boy.
Yeah,
Ballon d'Or. I really thought like that song. Both of them are like really huge superstars, and that song was just like, okay, was there for like a few weeks and then just faded out. That's why I'm saying that I hope he had a song with Asha, the almighty Asha. The song came out and like, okay, really? Like, I think I saw that song on YouTube a few days ago. I'm like, that's true. There's actually a new song with, like, where is that song? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that the kind of work that was put in this Essence, I don't know if it's work. At times, it's just luck. At times, it's just whatever it is. I hope that he gets, because no matter how long you're going to ride the wave, it's going to stop at some point, except you have something bigger that is also going to, that's it generally for me with this Essence song.
Your fears are valid. Your fears about if Wizkid can do it again, they're very valid. You get, again, if you notice from Ojuelegba, his career has been on the up and up. Mm-hmm. The remixes that came after Ojuelegba, then the feature with Drake, and one or two other international features here and there. You get then the brown skin girl. Mm-hmm. And after that, this is where we are. You will notice that he's still been on the up and up. He's still like on the upward trajectory for Wizkid's song and his career, his music in general. And again, selling out venues, is booked all year round, but he's already talking about an album that is ready. You get, so I cannot believe in him enough to think that whatever he brings next,
it's going to be amazing
will do
as
well. And again, that's what I was trying to say earlier, but my fear now is that he has set the bar so high that for himself,
that's it
might even be a challenge to, because when you see everybody calling the song of the year, even in America, they're saying give them song of the year, not best foreign artist or international act.
Basically like just mainstream music.
So you take a look at that and you see that, oh yes, this guy's finally cracked the code.
There's something that is,
you get, but the beauty of people like him, at least based on the stuff that I gleaned. I remember when YC told me during an interview in Ibadan then, how he went to hang out at Wizzy's place, and at some point everybody fell asleep, but Wizkid was working, and when he woke up, he still met him working, and that story stayed with me. And we see the culmination of all of that now. That if you want to be the best, you're not just going to go to sleep
do
now.
the work.
When people like Wizkid are putting in the work, what are you doing? Davido is out there in Qatar now working on his album. He's already got 1 or 2 features sorted out and all of that, you know. Now in the area of that song that is done with Asha, it's down to Asha's record label. It's down to Asha herself, because it's more of an Asha song than a Wizkid song. And if I look at Wiz, I've not really seen him push the way other artists push.
Yeah.
You know, there's a way, and there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, that's what social media is good for. I see how people, Olamide, for instance, is a bad guy.
The way he
just tweets lines from one song. Yeah. They probably haven't even dropped the song.
Yeah. He does get a lot of, you see snippets of,
it's just teasing
you.
It's teasing you.
Yeah.
And all of that. And before you know it, the song drops, it's going to be a hit. You get. But there are now different levels of hits now. That's what we're talking about. But fingers crossed, I pray that he sustains the tempo.
Okay, so moving off music, yeah, and let's do a little bit of sports. There were a few things that we were going to talk about, and one of the things is Christian Eriksen.
Oh yeah.
We know that a few weeks ago he was signed to Brentford.
Yeah, he made his return to the English Premier League.
Yeah, and there was back and forth on how I think he has a pacemaker, so he couldn't stay with his old club, and Premier League is fine to do that. And is in the news again. Today now he's back with his national team.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, looks like this guy is actually doing better than anticipated.
He had an assist, the first in 800 and something days, a few days ago. But I'm still worried. I'm afraid for him that he shouldn't be playing football at that level.
At that level anymore.
But this is me. I'm not a doctor. It's just me, a fan, being worried about a great footballer. But I hope the medical staff of his club have taken everything into cognizance, and that they'll look out for him. Now he's going to be playing more football.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, he's just going to be playing for his club. Now so the country has recalled him, which means he's going to be playing more football. It's risky, it's dangerous, and I still don't like the idea of him playing football at that level with a pacemaker. It's just not something that I think is...
Sounds a little scary, yeah? It does actually. Moving off that, Chelsea is in the news. Now, there are two things that are talking about. I saw this news I saw this earlier, where Chelsea is asking that the next game that they have, that they're hoping that they're not what's the word now, that it will not allow, I think they're playing with Middlesbrough. Sorry, hold on, I'm trying to look for who they're playing with. The next
Premier League fixture.
The next Premier League fixture. They're hoping that they, without fans completely, because they're saying since they can't sell tickets, meaning that a lot of their fans will not be able to be at the team, meaning that most of the fans in the on the pitch that day as just all the spectators, most of the spectators are going to be the opponents, and it's not very good for their players.
Well, it's a messy situation that they find themselves.
Yeah, it is actually.
A lot of people are looking at this only from the sentimental reasons. And again, it's funny how you want to put sanctions on Russia, you want to fight Putin, and you want the war to end in Ukraine, but you don't support sanctions against Roman Abramovich. because it's sponsoring or has sponsored an English
club.
And a lot of Chelsea fans, they get mad when you want to point it out to them that really and truly, this man is one of the closest people to Vladimir Putin. So if sanctions are being meted out to all his allies and the oligarchs and all of that, why should he be any different?
Yeah.
People's yachts are being seized, their businesses are being shut down. But you just want a situation where they can allow him sell Chelsea
this morning,
and donate the money.
I saw news that Russia's richest person is because of the sanctions that are happening and how much the Russian ruble is really decreasing in value, that this person looks to have about less money than Dangote.
Shout out to Aliko Dangote.
Shout out.
Now we announce and call us, bros.
Yeah, kind of like richer than all of them in Russia.
Yeah, you're probably if you had Russian citizenship now, you're probably the richest Russian.
Russian at the moment. Yeah, and I'm still talking about Chelsea.
So, yeah, you were saying Chelsea. So what is Chelsea exactly asking for? What exactly?
So they're asking that if they can't get their own fans in, then nobody should bring fans in.
Well, what I heard is that only season ticket holders will be allowed in on the Chelsea side.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, but I don't know how.
I grew up thinking at times that half bread is better than none, so they want to have none. Okay, it's fine.
We'll definitely see that. And also talking about Chelsea, there's been talks about how a Saudi group seems to be bidding for the sale of Chelsea. It looks like there's Arab money coming their way.
Everybody is talking about a 2.7 billion pound deal. There's already a consortium that has been put in place by an American businessman who seemed to be seriously interested in acquiring Chelsea Football Club. But now, it doesn't look like Roman Abramovich will have a say in this.
Yeah, no.
It's been kicked off the board completely.
No, definitely. They said that except they're just going to stay like that till God knows when the sanctions are lifted. And
it won't be good, because what it means is that if they don't quickly sell the team, it will get to a point where they might have to grind down. And shout out to the players and the coach. There's something that Tuchel said recently. At least there's a quote that was ascribed to him that even if they're not allowed to fly to their next Champions League game, that if he has to drive a bus, he will drive a bus to get there. I know it won't be that bad. Come on. It will not be that bad. But the truth is that we cannot have double standards. If you want to sanction, you have to sanction.
Yeah, but there's always the conversation
war in Ukraine is bad. We don't want it to continue. Too many innocent lives are being lost. But we should not be carried away with our love for football.
But there's also the conversation about not mixing sports with politics.
That's too late now.
I'm just saying that's another conversation.
It's double standards already.
Double standards like all over the place. Look, there are a lot of countries that should not even be playing sports if we go by that rule.
I will always use Mesut Ozil's example. Mm-hmm. The instant he made a statement
against China, that was
the end of his Arsenal career.
Arsenal. More like in the whole Premier League.
I think it was LeBron James that said something recognizing a country that China does not recognize. He had to apologize. There's another wrestler that also did the same thing. You understand that there's double standards everywhere.
Let's not deceive ourselves.
So this story about
I think they should just expunge that thing.
I think it was the Arsenal captain's band recently that was made in the Ukrainian colors. I saw that, yeah? And you're seeing people coming together during Champions League games. Two teams coming together carrying banners. This was not allowed when things were happening in Palestine. This is not allowed when things are happening in Syria, in other parts of Africa. You know, like you score a goal now and you reveal a political message, you're gonna be fine.
You're fine, though. You're fine.
But now it's different because it's Ukraine.
It's Ukraine.
So I like Europe. It, and we must keep the same.
But that's the thing. Keep that energy throughout, because there's going to be
there's crisis. We must stand for those countries too.
Yes, that's what it means. it's the double standards that I have a problem with. I'm still talking football. Manchester City dropped points yesterday. Who would have thought? And is it just me? But every single time Manchester City has dropped points this season, it has been very annoying. Like, are you serious right now?
No. You're taking this one out of context. They dropped points against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Did you check the first round of games that they played against Crystal Palace?
I don't know what happened.
Exactly. They can't beat Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has their key.
Hi, Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace actually, shout out to the former Arsenal legend who is coaching them now, Patrick Vieira. That guy has Pep Guardiola's number. Like, he has it on speed dial. Like, Pep, I'm going to beat you. If I don't beat you, I'll play a draw. And that's what Crystal Palace has done to City. They actually beat City a couple of games ago. Now they play the draw. So, the whole league needs to look at Patrick Vieira and say, hey, what's up, man? Give us the... you know what we used to call
Arsenal,
it then in school.
Down there. Anyways,
give us the shukuli on this thing. Let us all beat Man City,
Let's get the expo.
Let this domination end.
Yeah.
On this same table a few weeks ago, we were all about how the lead was massive. It's down.
Yeah, it was 9 points. Now it's down to
it's gonna
4 points.
If they win.
If Liverpool wins the next game, it's going to be down to 1 point. I hope they don't, not because I don't want them to win. They play with Arsenal. Are you joking? Anyway, so that was the game yesterday. Another very interesting game that happened yesterday was Benzema. Uncle Benzema is at it again, and I think is at 34. He's in a beautiful form, because as of yesterday now, he's officially the highest French goal scorer of all time.
Yeah. Shout out to Karim Benzema. He's been through a lot, and at some point you thought it was going to end for him. No, the man has stepped up and is carrying that team, especially after Ronaldo left. Everybody thought Luka Modric was going to be the man,
but Benzema seems to be doing
and this season, oh my God, he can't stop scoring.
He just can't. He's been doing it for the past. Yesterday had a brace. I think the other time, the one that he played with PSG, he had a hat trick. So I think that they're doing amazingly well. Today actually, there's Champions League round of 16. Manchester United is playing with Atletico Madrid. That's one game that needs to be watched. Another person that is playing is Ajax and Benfica. They're playing also today. Tomorrow, there's Juventus and Villarreal, and Chelsea and Lille. Then there's also Premier League tomorrow, Arsenal and Liverpool, and Tottenham and Brighton. Tottenham.
A lot of people said that, Tottenham have got a couple of games at hand,
but they got their games at hand.
They still have those games, but it's not looking good.
They don't even have as much anymore.
But they still have games at hand. The ones that they played and the one they're about to play.
But it's not even looking good. It's not even looking good for them. Like they at a point they were playing like a few games and like, okay, what these people that I'm sorry, something just needs to be done. I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but as of today, crude oil price has dropped to about $99 per barrel.
Well, globally, that's good news for people who buy fuel at the pump. Because it's funny how everybody keeps saying, fossil fuels are bad, blah, but
the world literally revolves around it. Yes, it does.
Especially in countries where they have the option of acquiring electronic cars and everything, you still find that it's biting really hard in places like America and UK and Canada and all of that. The pump price of fuel is killing. So if crude is going down, that means pump price will go down, because that's how the market works. How quick it will.
Because I know that everybody's been going on about how, take for example, diesel is now 700 naira per liter. we know that it is fully deregulated. That's why it is that way. But it is still a lot of money.
So it's $90 dollars per barrel.
$99 per
that's
barrel.
Not much, but look.
Oh, coming from about $140.
Regardless of what Nigeria might want, look, let this thing go down, I beg.
It's just be coming down with it.
At least that way, if the price of diesel can come down, the diesel is.
Yeah, I'm talking about
it's crazy.
The price and first funny thing is that a lot of people are still complaining about fuel scarcity though. I thought that was gone, but looks like there are a few states and a few places that they're still feeling the bite of the fuel scarcity. It's not finally gone. And talking about fuel, the scarcity and the price of diesel has now driven the inflation rates of February 2022 was released today, and it's about 15.7%. For about 9 months, inflation was dropping, but as of today now, it has gone on the up and up again, mainly due to these two things.
Yeah. Life as it is becoming harder for us. But I checked online, and this is no excuse. It's actually a global trend.
Oh yeah, it is a global trend. It's just
so it's not a nice thing. People who swore to serve and protect, people who swore to make life better, this is the time that should get cracking. You know, again, some countries were lucky to have the stimulus packages during the COVID-19, but could it be that is having a negative effect on everything now?
How?
So production was at an all-time low.
Yeah.
But demand was still high.
Of course.
And a lot of money has been pumped into the system. People were getting packages, $1,000, $10,000, $5,000, all sorts of money in different countries, right? Which was supposed to help them get by. But production was not increasing in any way. So there's been a lot of funds pumped into the system.
But without
commensurate, market and everything. So in a way,
it will drive up inflation.
It will have a ripple effect. So in a way, that might be responsible
for a lot of the inflation.
Now, to escalate that situation, the war between Ukraine and Russia
did not help matters at all.
Knowing that energy prices will be affected, knowing that even now they're talking about even banning Russia from certain waters, which will also affect everything on the long run. So as much as we talk about sanctions for Russia and everything, it's not exactly going to affect Russia alone.
When they say that the world is a global village, it is a global village. At the end of the day, everything is affecting everybody. It's not just Russia, and it's not just Ukraine at the end of the day. And let's move on quickly to a little bit of politics here. As this one is one of the things that happened yesterday. Very interesting drama. This has been brewing for about a few days now. And I think it started from Governor Obaseki, where Governor Obaseki, I think that was last weekend, where he was going off about how he was not leaving the PDP and how the Edo PDP people, it was just really going off on a lot of people.
No, I think it started more from the deputy governor, and a couple of people in his own. They said they were tired of. There's some crisis going on in Edo State PDP.
Oh, definitely.
And the governor was informed about this. Of course, not like he doesn't know, but this was done in a public forum. And also publicly he responded that he was going to stay back in the PDP regardless. But the governor of Rivers State...
Yes, some weekend. Like, actually, like his first name.
That name is unique though. Yensom. I've never heard anybody. And you know,
and it's definitely a local name.
In Igbo, it was like give me. So I like to say give me some. So you get like yem some
wicked.
Yem some wicked.
The man that always has something to say. He always has something to say. You know, you never catch him. What's it called? You never catch him tongue-tied. He always has a reply for everything. And he had come out to call the governor of Edo State a betrayer, and what's the second English?
Yeah, it says that
there was something
that betrayer is in his DNA.
There was something. Oh God. Anyway, before we finish, I hope I remember. But he went off on him, and in the same vein, he had also publicly apologized to the former governor of Edo State and the former chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, that he now understands what Oshiomhole was doing, and that he apologizes to him for being on Obaseki's side. And it's very interesting because I know you sent me a video this morning that I saw where former governor of Ekiti State, another very interesting character, Peter the Rock, when it was before last elections of Edo State, where Edo State governor and the Oshiomhole, they were having like their issues were like it was in the heat of it, and where he granted an interview, that's the former governor of Ekiti State, where he kind of predicted that this was going to happen. And
it has happened. That's come to pass. Knowing that they all know themselves, politicians are friends, they all know themselves, they're pals and all of that. So the thing is that politics is actually getting eaten up largely because of 2023.
Yeah, 2023 is the bottom line for everybody.
The general elections in 2023 is getting everybody hyper. And we have not even seen anything. It's just about to start. You get. The thing is, it's obvious from the statement made by former Governor Fayose, the statements made by Governor Wike, that Governor Obaseki of Edo State must have signed some kind of deal or agreed, maybe in principle, maybe not on paper, but at least to. And
he's not living up to those
there's some
deals.
Friction here and there. And I would take Governor Wike's apologies to Oshiomhole as a pinch of salt. It's like,
I think that it's lip service. Of course,
it's just using it.
He has fallen out with this person, which I think that with the fallout, someone also like an Oshiomhole, even without the apology, will be feeling on top of the world. Even if, not saying that he was right or wrong, even if he was wrong as at then, I don't know whether it was right or wrong. I don't know those. We don't know the details of those things. But even if he was wrong then, he'll be feeling on top of the world like, I told you people, this person is a betrayer.
Okay, but on the flip side, Oshiomhole could be like, I'm not interested in all of this drama. You people are one and the same, and I know that you're just using my name.
Yeah.
You get, because this is politics, and a lot of them know themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that former Governor Adams Oshiomhole, former chairman APC, would not be bothered at a time like this. It's just going to be like, well, I told you people, like you said. But the larger picture is that Edo State people will suffer.
Yeah, that's always the bottom line.
Governance will suffer.
Line. It's always when we pick politics over governance.
Governance will suffer.
It's always the people,
And that's where my own problem lies. Again, Governor Nyesom Wike, I like the aspect of him building infrastructure and always commissioning something or the other. But I do not like the way he talks down at people.
Oh yeah,
at some point,
very brash.
Then again, do we need to know that you didn't take your bath for 3 days?
Oh, he said that.
Yeah, I had to listen. I had to watch that video over and over again.
What's the context of that?
That you more or less relocated to Edo to campaign and walk and fight for what's his name
Governor
now?
Obaseki.
Governor Obaseki.
Okay.
And at some point, he didn't even take his bath for. Do you need to tell us that you didn't take your bath for the? You know? Yeah, it's there. I'll play it for you again. You must hear it. We must all be grossed out by it.
No, I'm good. Thank you for the
information. Because I started thinking like, okay. Did you really not take your bath for 3 days, Governor?
And even if you did, did you have to? See, this is the issue. When you start talking too much and you get to a point where you are beginning to say what you're not supposed to say. Anyway, still talking about politics, Governor Ortom is in the news again. He has now said that President Muhammadu Buhari is a failure and incapable of leading Nigeria. He has also said that he has failed in his duties and should resign and hand over to Vice President Osinbajo.
Governor Ortom, please, what is the date of the month? What's today's date?
15th of March.
Okay, so it's not end of the month. There's a school of thought on social media that says that when it's time to pay salaries, Governor Ortom looks for...
It's very quiet.
No, he looks for one controversy
or another so that you don't ask him about salary.
You know, now that's on the lighter side. On the flip side, we all have the duty to be responsible with our statements. Calling for the president to resign is not a big deal. It's well within his powers, you get. But I'd like to monitor all the states, at least on social media, everybody's there. And also call our friends who are on ground and try to do some research. Can he honestly look into the mirror and say that statement he made, I'm coming to look well, does not apply to him too? Because what exactly?
Because for
what
me,
exactly
my
has he achieved
with it is
in
that
Benue
for you
State?
To make those statements, Benue State has to be like Dubai. Not saying that the president is wonderful.
Nah.
But, uncle, if it's just regular people like us that are making such statements, I agree. You're a governor. What are you doing as the governor of the state? Honestly, I think more than half of governors in this country even need to resign. Let them just even go. Governor Ortom included. Let's be honest with ourselves. See, when they are calling governors and they are governors, we have come to realize in the past 2-3 years, more like 4-5 years, that if you want to work, you would work. We can pick out 3-4-5 states out of that have a lot of issues, from IGR issues to insecurity issues, but they're still making do with what they have, and they're still doing way much more than people that do not have as much money. The people that have more money, they have less issues on their hands. Don't even let us start naming names because we will not even live here. So, my own issue is that nobody is saying that you are good or whatever he said, the president. I just think he's extremely vocal for someone that is a governor. Except you will tell me with a straight face that Benue State is better than every other state in Nigeria. Then there's no conversation. I think he's one of the few governors that like hearing the voice of people that like to hear their own voices. That's the way I see it. Anyway, let's go to the courts. As Abba Kyari is in the news again.
Has he fainted today?
His wife fainted yesterday.
No.
I don't like it. Stop throwing shades at people.
It's not shade.
When people are down.
It's not shade. I don't wear shades. I wear jiggy.
When people are down.
I wear jiggy.
Don't insult people that are down.
Well, he that is down need fear no fainting. And he that fainted will be carried out of the courtroom.
It's not good. It's not good when
all I did was
talk
ask
down,
a question.
You talk down at people that are already down. It's not good.
Question.
It's not good.
I asked a question.
They say you don't know what anybody will be tomorrow.
I did not ask a question. I asked a question.
You are just very wicked.
So, before you say anything about Abba Kyari,
okay,
and his whatever case that he is using to fight back, what is the reason for his wife fainting in court?
He said she's asthmatic.
No.
And then this is second time.
It's not asthma.
Wait.
It's not asthma.
Wait. This is second time that they are denying him bail. Say, these people don't like me. And
I have a better reason.
Got exhausted.
I have a better reason for her fainting. Let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
A little bird told me that woman's fainting was real fainting. No, it's not fake.
Did anybody say it was fake?
Oh, so there was an actress that tweeted that these people are trying to take over their job. My favorite,
really?
my favorite actress. My lovely 50-something-year-old Katie. I laughed at that tweet. Yeah, I said this baby is wicked.
My own is.
But guess what? Guess why she fainted? Let me tell you the reason.
Why would it be fake though? What would have happened?
NDDC fainting was not fake.
No.
Have you heard anything about that case?
He was the one on trial. She's not the one on trial.
That's why we have to tell you. Let's educate you about the act of fainting.
All right.
There's a way to faint. There's a system.
How do people even used to faint?
I can teach you.
Because I really wanted to faint in NYC.
My good friend Latif Lioni, if he ever gets to watch this video,
fainting never.
His fainting saved us in the biology class one time like that.
Why am I not fainting?
That woman wanted to give us extra session that we didn't need. My friend fainted. I carried him. We every biology over. Yes, now we can say it. Latif Lioni, you are a hero. Don't worry.
Wow.
You are a hero. So Mrs. Abba Kyari fainted.
She's probably Mrs. Kyari, not Mrs. Abba Kyari.
Please, excuse me, please. There are many Mrs. Kyaris there. Mrs. Abba Kyari fainted in the court. When she entered court and they said her husband have 1.2 billion. And she said, Abba. And I'm driving Corolla. Corolla for Uber. Abba. The woman gave up the
but you don't know what car she's driving. How are you sure?
People that know. Look at you.
Wow.
Look at you.
How are you sure?
Look at you.
She was in the angle of so they found this money too. She might have not.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. The real issue is that she found out that the man have 1.2 billion, and then his other friend have 2.8 billion. Policeman have 1.2 billion. How much is bank?
1.4 billion.
1.4.
No, don't be saying But do you know I'm on 200
million. 200 million.
Okay, give me 200 million.
I'll give you later.
Oh wow.
I can give you in NFT.
Oh wow.
And I can give you in Bitcoin.
I don't want such.
Go away.
Oh.
Let me just tell you.
Just.
It's just
0.2 billion as you are sitting.
How much is it to buy bank? Because if I have 1.2 billion or 1.4 billion, I'll just go to First Bank and I want to buy First Bank.
So 200 million now you are sitting here. Somebody give you 200 million. And it's just.
Is that one money?
It's no money.
Is it not my mate that have 2.8 billion in his account?
Okay.
I'm sure I'm even older than him.
Wow.
Age is just a number.
Wow.
If somebody have 2.8 billion that is my friend, it will be my senior friend. Senior friend.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So don't put points.
It's just ordinary 200 million. You are losing sight. You are losing sight of the real gist. Okay. That the fainting of this woman is financially incorporated in the motivation of the action. She had to take a faint.
Say, what do you mean? What do you mean by she had to take a faint?
No, people are taking the knee when they are protesting.
What do you mean by she had to take a faint?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, why are people taking a knee?
Okay, I need to tweet this. She had to take a faint.
Yes.
Who does that?
Mrs. Abba Kyari.
Mrs.
Abba Kyari
say such a
took
thing?
a faint. She took a faint. I'm serious. That woman took a faint. When they tell her, your husband have 1.2, she said, Abba! The judge said, shh. He said, no, it's Abba Kyari. He said, Abba, you have 1.2. Only yesterday I was still looking for money to buy petrol.
Took a feint.
She took a feint.
Anyway, still the
1.4 billion.
case that he has against his fundamental rights case. The judge threatened to strike out the case, and mainly because his counsel had not given a prosecution. They are not informed the prosecution on is a better affidavit this morning.
Congratulations on all the legal jargons. My own is that they should expedite action on this man's matter, and they should do giveaway with that 1.4 billion and the other 2.8 billion. Do giveaway now. Do giveaway for boys. Federal government should do giveaway now. What? Yes, now.
Anyway, for Nigerians, this is kind of like a public service announcement. It's not a very, I don't know if this is good or bad, but the United Kingdom Embassy in Nigeria has today announced a temporary suspension of study, work, and family visa applications, barely 2 months after it resumed processing.
Look, the owners of the country will do whatever they want with their country, whatever it takes for them to give out visas, whatever it. Look, they let you know when you can come and when you can go. It's their country, they built it, they did it. But it's funny how it's motivated by the war in Ukraine, where they're talking about how they're willing to take in hundreds of thousands of refugees from Ukraine. And, well, like I said, it's their country. But you would have hoped that there was just one global standard. You know, the refugees from Nigeria who are affected by Boko Haram. Nigeria has been at war with Boko over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Ain't nobody trying to open up their doors for us to bring in people who are sleeping rough and living hard. Ethiopia, South Sudan, Syria, just to name a few. Palestine, you know, people don't like when we mention those places. But the truth is the truth. Mankind has to be kind to one another. So you're going to restrict people from coming in because you want to take in refugees from Ukraine. All right, it's your country. You can do what you want.
You can do what you want. And talking about also another announcement, this is coming from the Central Bank of Nigeria, has now released guidelines for the operation of the something that they're starting now is bank neutral cash hubs. And basically what this is that they're actually like companies, or I won't say companies, they're actually like banking halls where, you know, you have to do like a transaction. Maybe you have to cash a check or something. You go to the bank where the check is done, or other interbank issues. Even if you go to another bank, there is let's do this, let's do that. What they're saying now is that they're just like basically bank neutral banks, or would I say brand neutral banks. That's the way I see those things as. And they're saying that they're going to be built, they're basically cash collection centers. They're registered by, owned by processing companies, or this deposit money banks, generally based on business needs. They're going to be building them at mainly economic hubs where there's a lot of money that goes round in those places. So they build it to aid the regular banks that are already in these places.
Sounds like a good plan by the CBN. Sounds like something innovative, you know, and anything to make life easier for people, anything to aid the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Look, it's difficult. I'm not talking down my country, but I know that there's a global crunch and cash crunch and all of that. But it's really hard being in Nigeria and trying to do business, and some transactions will just make your head go giddy.
So
if this is going to make life better, I'm all for it.
No matter how little it is, it's a very welcome idea. And on that note, that is all we have to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for watching. We see everybody watching, people listening. We'll definitely be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time on boomradio.com.ng. You know, it's Olatolupo. You know, the one and only. Peace. You will not say bye bye now.